Hi everybody, it's Diane. I'm making a short-ish video because I am still getting over a cold, as maybe you could tell it by voice. And I may have to cough somewhere along here, so I'm going to try to keep this short. Today I am borrowing an idea from Ideology, Tim Holtz product, a new product. They're collaged frames. And I wanted to try it myself because I thought what a fabulous use of scraps. This is only a ½ inch. His stitching on each edge. I don't think I'm going to go that far, but I just cut up a file folder, and it's a little tedious. There are worse things in the world, but it's a little time consuming if you're going to do more than just a couple, but it's doable. I used an X-Acto and a straight edge to get the center. I do have a mat cutter, but I thought that was sort of overkill for this, so I didn't even bother trying that. If you want to try it, go ahead. If you do a bunch the same, after you get the first one done, then you can just lay it on your next one and draw. You don't have to keep measuring out. That's a little helpful. But anyway, so this is just file folder in various sizes. This is 3 by 3.5. It's a ½ inch frame, like I said. If you work on the pencil side, you don't have to worry about erasing lines or anything. I'm leaving the backs blank because the idea for me is to glue them to a journal page or a note card or something, and then putting in a photo, an image, or you could write in there. I think that's actually kind of a cool idea. But anyways, you can see I did one, so let's do another one, and then I think I'll finish them off by myself and you don't have to listen to my nasal voice. And I think Tim Holtz would be okay with this. He just, on his last YouTube video, was saying if you don't want people to use your ideas, then don't put them out there. And he's right. And part of the reason to put ideas out there is to inspire other people. So I am just using paper scraps here. I have scrapbook paper. I had a little ephemera. I have a trading stamp there. I have a bingo number, old paper, piece of map, a little bit of text stuff, sheet music I grabbed too is there. I don't think there's much rhyme or reason. If you look at this one, the 4, the stamp are sort of a definite thing. The other stuff is just scrappy. So you can go any kind of way you want. This might be a good place to use Mod Podge or matte medium. My glue happened to be handy, so I'm just gluing. The hardest part is when it's done, to me at any rate, was then trimming all the edges. But I thought too you could use washi tape, fabric, magazine paper, wrapping paper, your own painty papers if you do the gel print stuff, mono printing. You could add paint to this stuff, gesso. I mean, I think you're only limited by your own imagination, but I was just trying to keep it simple and use up scraps. Okay. I did ink around the edges of that. I think that worked out pretty well. Yeah, the sewing, I only saw the real ones online. I haven't seen them in person. I imagine that really does add. Number one, I just didn't feel like putting that much effort into it at the moment. I'm still kind of sick. But, that's awfully narrow. I wasn't sure how my machine would take that. And you could certainly make it look messy. That would be a cool look too. But theirs was, nice and straight and neat. And that sounded like a lot of pressure there. And you could certainly make these any size you want. You could even make a big one. Alright, I have a little exposure right here. Inking might take care of that, but it's a little wide. So let's just put something there. Okay, that's it. If you wanted, you could, add a flower or something more definite if you want. I'm not going to. Okay, I have to let that dry, the glue dry, so I can trim it up. But I will finish these. It'll take a while. And then come back and talk nasally at you more and we'll discuss. Okay, hang on. Okay, all done. Yeah, you might want to save yourself some aggravation and just go buy the Tim Holtz collage frame. Now do yourself a favor. When you're gluing papers, make them flush with the inside. Maybe there's a trick, I don't know. I was having trouble with an X-Acto, even with a ruler. I was cutting into the cardboard. I do have a new blade. It could be too sharp, so to speak. It's really hard to get scissors in here. You can do it, but what I wound up doing was using an X-Acto on the corners and then a scissor on the straight edge. It was pretty hard. So there, when you're gluing, do yourself a favor, make stuff flush on the inside. The outside, anybody can do that, even Diane. But they turned out cute, I think. I think that's the one we started with. There were a couple little notes. It did occur to me, if you're somebody who's really proficient at this, you could wrap the edges, make it go behind. I did not want to get that involved. I'm not that proficient at wrapping paper around stuff, but you could do that. If you're a masterboard person, this is probably a candidate for that. However, you're eliminating the little strips, I would kind of think. I think you're going to end up using bigger pieces. And you better make sure your adhesive is really good, or you're going to, be cutting and having stuff pull up. But that's probably doable. And if you wanted to, you could make the bottom of the mat a little bigger, and it would look like a Polaroid. And technically, nobody does this anymore, but mats are supposed to be larger on the bottom because it's an optical illusion when they're framed. Then the bottom looks smaller. Years ago, I know what I'm talking about. I used to work in a frame shop. Years ago, you made the bottom frame or mat bigger. Nobody does it anymore. I thought of postage stamps. I put a few of those on. A couple, I really did a pretty crummy job. This was one of them. I had to trim the whole thing narrower, but it turned out okay in the end. I think sewing around would look really nice, but for as much time as I spent on these, I'm not doing that. And so, yeah, I think on a journal page, I don't have a journal handy. Here's my my Buster collage book. It'd be kind of cute, like I said, and you could write in there or put a photo in there and then write around it. It'd be cute on a note card. Then put, you know, maybe like a flower in there or something. So yeah, the finished products are pretty cool. It took me quite a while to get there. Like I said, that cutting the middle out, to be honest, was a pain. It was a pain in the neck. So there. Okay, thanks for listening to me and my nasal voice today. If you try these, I hope you have good luck with the innies. Like I said, just glue your stuff flush and you'll be fine. Okay, everybody, thanks again and have a nice day.